A message on the side of a box. Dog grooming shears. Still not cutting at the tip according to the groomers. We sharpen them, but the tip's not cutting. Bonnie, can you fix them? Tell us what we did wrong? Let's find out. So these are, they wrapped them really nice. These are pretty nice shears. Let's take a look at them. I already kind of looked at them earlier. Truth in video land. Freebird. Feel good. Don't feel anything weird about them. Let's take the other one's a Freebird as well. I don't do a lot of grooming shears. Do mostly hairstylist shears, so I'm not that familiar with these, but aren't those cute? Yeah, I got a little puppy dog on, a little poodle on them. Typically, any shears that we carry that would be for groomers, we design them so that a barber wouldn't mind buying them too, because a lot of the barber shops here in Atlanta, yes, they would buy that shear because they use it for like afros and going in and picking out pieces. So they're saying they're not cutting at the tip. So let's check them first, and I'll show you what I saw. Let me grab some hair here. There's actually some full toupees in here. What you think? Is that me? But usually these toupees are pretty good. Obviously this isn't in jeans. Pretty good hair. And so they're good ones to test on. If you got some company that makes toupees and around you, that's a good, you know, they'll give you the hair. So I'm cutting with a tip. And can you see what that's doing? It's pushing and then it's actually pulling there. Let's try this other one. Same thing. It's pushing. Let's see if it cuts different going this way. See? It's not horrible, but when I go to, might do something with this, I don't know. When I go to wet tissue, it's not cutting. A little bit, but not great. So let's see if we can fix these. So the first thing I noticed, in looking with my naked eyes, I could see there's a spot from here to here that when I turn it back and forth to the light, it sparkles at me, which makes me think that a burr was not created there. And let's get the magnifier so you can see what I'm talking about. My eyes have kind of gotten trained, so sometimes I can see these things. Yeah, that's ever so tiny, but you can definitely see this. See that? Right there at that tip. So a good burr was not created there. It's got like a little dip. Let's see what's going on the other side. Other side looks good, but there's actually a chip at the tip. See? Little tiny chip right at the tip. See, so I'm thinking if we just go over it again and get a better burr and maybe cut it off. Let me see if anything's crazy going on with the ride line. Not seeing anything crazy with the ride line. So let's see. This one here. When I was looking at it in the light, I actually saw a little red Sharpie left behind. Yeah, you can see the red Sharpie that's left behind. It's just not, it doesn't have a burr. So I'm coming in here. I don't know if the color shows up in this magnifier that well. But, yeah, there we go. Do you see the red? You see the red? Right there. So, both of these need a better burr. Now I've got my curve adapter here and I have put a fresh 80 on here. I think that might be way too aggressive, but and I really only need the curve adapter for the one that curves this way. I don't know what angle they put on it. See if I can do it without doing a whole lot of work taking it apart, because really it's only the tip. You know, I hate doing curved shears because they're harder. But you know, at the same time, these kind of things actually makes what we do a little bit more interesting. So while I'm here looking at these, I'm thinking this 80 is going to be way too aggressive. The way you make these extra ones is, I have to kind of feel these and decide what I want to work with. 800, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. So I'm going to kind of lay this here, get an idea where I want to cut. Let's go ahead and cut the 2000 for good measure while I've got it here. I had a polishing one, and I have the tendency people come in for training and they need whatever, and I end up giving them the ones I've made for myself because I figure I can make more. And so when I get ready to sharpen, I a lot of times don't have all the tools I need. That's neither here nor there. Alright, so here's the 800. And you got to make sure this is underneath your spatter guard. Sometimes on these curved shears, especially these long ones, you're better off just taking your spatter guard off. Now that could be difficult if you've got one of the machines that the spatter guard doesn't come off. So I'm only going to worry about this blade. My clamp is set at 45. Let's see if that's what they used. I think that's a little too sharp of an angle for these scissors, but let's do it. And you see how my tip's touching over here, so I've got to be a little bit careful right in here. You see how I'm getting here? I'm actually pulling out a little bit to make sure that tip actually touches. Some of these long shears like this, I hate to tell you, you're really going to have to do them freehand to get this area here up to this length. You can do it with the clamp, and I've got it good to here, but from there on, I'm just going to go slow. I'm kind of starting, I'm going to start gently back here. And can you, I don't know if you can see my elbow and my arm coming up, so I'm sort of lifting. And I've got a burr all the way down. I'm using my hone because it's got the, see the curve that way? And I'm just very gently going over the edge. So now on the other blade, I don't need the curve adapter. I can come in here, see, and do this. And if I want to rock it and convex it, I can. But typically I don't bother. And I've got a nice burr all the way down, but not right here at the tip. So just a little bit more, and tilt it as much as you can. That makes a difference on that tip. You see I'm pausing here a little bit on the tip, but I don't bring it all the way out to the edge. Just a tad more. Just knocking my burr off gently. Just kind of the gravity weight of this. I'm not really pushing it off. I might go over it one more time, just lightly, just kind of quickly, for any burr that I pushed to the outside. So now I've pushed it back to the inside. That looks better. I'm going to cut the burr off on a paper towel. Do a little cut, a little bit more. And let's see how they cut the wet tissue. See how it pulls a little bit at the tip? That's probably that broken tip. We may want to go in there and just shorten it just a tad. And I'm here, nose down. Now let's see how it cuts hair now. A little black toupee. Nice and crisp. Okay, so this one, it's not as long, so I should be able to use the curve adapter. I'll do it upright. You can see maybe a little better what I'm doing. The long ones you're probably going to have to do by hand. The curve adapter is not big enough. We may have to come up with something else. I normally never see any this long. See how this goes, like this and like that. Still see a little red here. So if you find you're not, they may have done this at a blunter angle. Let me drop this down to 35. Coarser yet. Got a burr now, still don't have it from here to here. I'm going to try it one more time with a clamp and then I may go to the freehanding it. Slowing down at this point. Oh yeah, I got a burr. this cut's wet.